Hello there. Welcome to my views and news. Protests have erupted in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. Though the protests are about a local issue, but Keo symbols, resistance symbols were made by the protesters. This is what Jawar wants. This is what Ethiopian opposition wants. Jawar is quick to tweet about, is quick to share it in social media. I have videos for you. What happened? Down, down, Shimalis was chanted to. Down, down, Prosperity Party was chanted to by protesters. Could such a protest turn into a political resistance movement, opposition movement? What happened? Details for you in this video. Secondly, viewers, Abune Matthias, the Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, has released a message. Message is about the conflict in Amhara, Oromia, about the earthquakes in Ethiopia, and Abune Matthias addressed Tigray religious leaders. What did he say? Lastly was, what is the daughter of Somalia's president doing in Cairo? Which delegation is she part of? What is her official position? Why is she part of some high level meetings ongoing in Cairo, Egypt? Let's start, viewers. Firstly, Oromia region of Ethiopia. A few days ago, people claimed that anti-government protests erupted in Oromia. I did a video. I told you that the protests were about Guji Burana issue, ongoing for around 2 years, a purely local issue, boundary issue. And I confirmed back then that the issues were not specifically directed at the protests were not specifically against the government. Rather, the protests have been ongoing there for 2 years. And since it was a local issue, a clan issue, a border issue, that is why Joa did not say a word about it. But since yesterday, protests have been ongoing in another city of the Oromia region. And today, Ethiopian opposition activists, including Jawar, shared information about that, and they are accusing the federal forces. Videos are in circulation. Important thing is that youths can be seen making resistance symbol in these protests. When Kios dismantled EPRDF and protested in Oromia, Jawar, others led the resistance movement. Back then, resistance symbols were created. And one of the symbols was displayed by Faisa Lalisa, Ethiopian athlete who took part in Rio Olympics of 2016. He won a silver medal. At the end of his race, he crossed his wrists over his head. That was a resistance symbol shown by Faisal Lalisa. That symbol went viral. It became face of Keo's movement. Keo was dismantled by the PM Abiy's government. Faisa, by the way, could not return to Ethiopia. He took asylum. He sought asylum, I think, in the US. Because back then, EPRDF was in power. So had he returned home, he would have been put in prison. After PM Abiy came to power, he returned. And now he's a supporter of PM Abiy's government. And a few days ago, he tweeted in support of PM Abiy's government when government was being criticized for increasing fuel prices. So resistance symbols matter a lot. Jawar wants reactivation of Keo movement. He wants same symbols or new symbols to be displayed. If people display such symbols, if people make such symbols, it means that the Keo movement could be reactivated. there is definitely, it means, space for it in Oromia. Protests erupted yesterday in Moyale. Moyale is on Ethiopia-Kenya border. It serves as an administrative center for two woredas. One is in Oromia and the other is in Somali region of Ethiopia. It's right on border. Yesterday, a Borana youth was reportedly arrested by federal police. Boro Al-Noor is the name of the boy. 12-year-old Boro Al-Noor was arrested by federal police. He was found dead. He was shot dead. Borana community started protests yesterday. Protests went on this morning. Again, Borana community took to the streets in Moyale. And this time, the protests turned violent. The protesters set fire to government buildings, reportedly. Police tried to disperse the protesters. The protesters refused to be dispersed. They chanted slogans against Prosperity Party. They said, down, down, PP, down, down, Shimalis. And they started setting fire to government buildings. Again, police opened fire in Moyale today. Unknown number of people has been injured in Moyale today. Injured or killed, it's not clear because there is panic in Moyale. These people are recording this video. Unknown number of people injured or killed. Sounds of gunshots have been heard. People on Kenyan side of the border also confirmed, and they're advising against traveling to Ethiopia through Moyale because of the sounds of gunshots which were heard on Kenyan side of the border as well. This issue is a local issue, definitely. Security forces generally conduct operations against smuggling in the area. And smuggling networks are operating in around Moyale. Security forces say that they've been conducting operations against people involved in smuggling. But who killed Boro Al-Noor? What was he involved in? No details shared so far. People are accusing federal forces of killing innocent boy Boro Al-Noor. But we have to wait to see what government says, what federal police says. So far, there is chaos in Moyale. Roads closed. Hundreds of people protesting, security forces opening fire, government institutions closed, banks closed too. We received unconfirmed report about attack on Commercial Bank of Ethiopia branch in Moyale. I could not confirm that, by the way. So this is what is happening on Ethiopia-Kenya border. This is what Jowar opposition parties want. They want some type of spark which they can use to make fire, to mobilize people against the Ethiopian government, Oromia government. But they want to do that sitting abroad. So from US, where Jowar is going to speak today in Minnesota, he's tweeting, he's sharing videos, pictures from Moyale. I have a few videos for you from Moyale. You can see one youth making the resistance symbol used by Kio movement during the protests against EPRDF government. Watch the clips, then next two news stories for you.
Machore, Arale, Borile, Ipsale, Nubulchundande. Avaka waiting in bull. Avaka waiting in bull. Injir darra wanila ibita. Namne pesa di jasami. Saderi salalu jira. Nabi akdaba kana se share waltu boda. Ummat kana sagaleta ummat moyele. Ummat moyele ha ubba. Ummat boyale ka duuti sa dusare lengengan. Tagale uta please.
The Patriarch of the Orthodox Church of Ethiopia has released a message, a statement to show solidarity with the people suffering in Amhara, Oromia regions. Abune Matthias is the Patriarch. In his statement, he showed solidarity with the people affected by earthquakes, saying that the religious leaders are all prayers for the safety of the people. And he called for peace and dialogue to end conflicts in Amhara and Oromia regions of Ethiopia. He said, peace is the solution, peace should prevail, and the leaders, church leaders are all prayers for peace in Oromia and Amhara region. Importantly, he addressed Tigray's religious leaders. Tigray Orthodox Church split with the main Orthodox Church of Ethiopia. It formed a sort of separate synod. It appointed new bishops. It refused to recognize the synod, main synod, and the main church led by Abune Matthias. Though Abune Matthias is a Tigrayan, but Tigray archbishops accused some archbishops of the main of the church of supporting the war on Tigray. Abune Abraham, Abune Petros, they were accused of supporting the war on Tigray. And that is why Tigray Orthodox Church leaders, they refuse to work with the main church. They form their own Orthodox Church, but they have not elected a patriarch so far. Abune Matthias offered reconciliation to Tigray's religious Orthodox Church leaders today. He admitted, he said, yes, we could not stand with you during your suffering, during the war. You were wronged. He acknowledged that. But we request you to take the path of reconciliation, to take the path of dialogue and peace. Let's stand together. Let's unite. This is his message for Tigray Orthodox Church leaders, which will not be accepted, by the way. Main church has been trying to reconcile with Tigray Church, but it's a political issue as well, I think. The Orthodox Church wants to be independent. Maybe Tigray wants to be independent as well, but it cannot, keeping in view the current situation. If Tigray had favorable conditions, its leaders would have called for independence. But they cannot survive as an independent country in current situation. So Tigray wants independence. It is not ready to reconcile with the main church. What does federal government of Ethiopia want? Federal government of Ethiopia wants splits in the church. It does not want united church. United church could be a threat to the government. Any institution which is powerful in Ethiopia is seen as a threat to the government. That is why strong church, strong regional governments, strong political parties are not allowed to flourish in Ethiopia. Let's see what the Orthodox Church leaders say. Will they respond positively to Matis's call? Not likely. Let's see. Lastly was, what is Hassan Sheikh's daughter doing in Cairo? President of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh, has sent two senior delegations to Egypt. One was led by Minister of Defense, Abdul Qadir, who held discussions yesterday in Cairo. Second delegation is led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmad Feki, who will meet with Eritrean and Egyptian counterparts. Hassan Sheikh's daughter was part of yesterday's meetings in Cairo. Her name is Jihan Hassan, only 23 years old. She accompanied Abdul Qadir, Minister of Defense, in a meeting with the Egyptian delegation. Interestingly, the meetings are about peacekeeping mission in Somalia. Egypt wants to have a major role. So the logistical issues and other issues about the involvement of military in Somalia are being discussed and finalized in these meetings. What type of experience does Jihan Hassan has to be part of such high-level security meetings? I mean, Egyptian delegation was led by generals. Somalia's delegation had Hassan Sheikh's daughter, Minister of Defense. There should have been senior security officials, intelligence officials, but Hassan Sheikh's daughter is one of the main figures in Somalia's delegation. Isn't it nepotism? I mean, yes, if he wants his daughter, Hassan Sheikh, if he wants his daughter to have some exposure of international relations, nothing wrong with that, but he should have sent a military delegation, because defense minister can be part of the delegation, but there should have been Somali generals to be part of the delegation. Issues being discussed are security issues. Who is fighting against Al-Shabaab? Hassan Sheikh's daughter is not fighting Al-Shabaab. Commanders are fighting. They should have been part of discussions, but nepotism at its best in Mogadishu, it seems. Thank you for watching.